Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Business. I'm Mark Stephen Pooler, conversations with leading experts in business, and a big happy Valentine's to everyone out there. Hope you're enjoying the day. Hope you've got lots of flowers, chocolates. We have we have a wonderful show ahead of us with an incredible guest. Before I get started, I just want to make an official shout out to our official sponsor, Craig Shelley, Beverly Hills, luxury watches and fine jewellery at craigshelley.com. So we have an amazing show ahead of us. We have the incredible Dawn Bates, author, strategist and business coach. So let's not waste any time. Hey Dawn, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Hey Mark, how are you? Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's, Dawn. It's great to be sharing a moment with you on this very special day. How has your day been so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I've woken up, I'm looking out at the ocean and the bays and the little islands out there, and I've just been gifted a beautiful breakfast. And, you know, it's such a beautiful day. Every day is a beautiful day when you're in love with yourself, Mark, and you're grateful.
So let's get started with the questions. You have a really interesting career. You travel the world, you travel a lot, you have a laptop lifestyle, you're doing so many book projects, masterminds. I know it hasn't always been that way for you. So a great place to start is at the very beginning. So just share some of the challenges that you have faced and overcome to where you have got today.
Oh, well, I grew up in a little tiny village, about 200 people. There was no bookshops there, Mark, so like I had to leave, you know, like I've got to go find a bookshop. Dawn without books is just not Dawn at all. I got bullied a lot at school because I was always got my head in a book. I was always in the library. I had my head smashed up against the brick wall of the maths block. You know, people were, and, you know, I was also the fat girl at school, so I had to become funny. I had to learn a lot of self-love. But yeah, books were my comfort, and I'm the first person in my family to be an entrepreneur, first one to move away, first one to do any kind of mad, crazy stuff. I think my mum, she's just kind of gone, yeah, just leave her to it. Just let her get on with it.
I really resonate with that, Dawn, especially the bullying side, because I myself was bullied as well. And like you, I became a joker, really becoming funny, playing up, and that's why my education suffered. And it's a hard thing to go through, isn't it, when you're younger and you're slightly different or you're being singled out?
Yeah, I think it is, but I don't think in some ways we could say that our education suffered, or we learned the lessons that were needed. You know, it made us stronger, and it made us different in a more beautiful way. You know, like my grandmother used to say, people don't throw sticks at empty apple trees. You want the fruit, you got to get it. So, you know, we had the fruit, Mark.
I like that way of looking at it, Dawn. So take us a little bit further down the journey to where you are today.
Oh, well, I've written 3 books about it, Mark. I've called it the Trilogy of Life Itself. So if they want an in-depth view, they're going to have to go read those. But yeah, you know, like I said, I was the first one to do a lot of things. I married one of those bloody foreigners that they talk about in the UK. I married an Arab, and That was confronting for a lot of people. We had an amazing 18 years together. We've got 2 beautiful children. Children, yeah, they are children, but they're amazing young men, 14 and 18. We've traveled the world. I've had my own business since I was 21. I always knew I wasn't going to work for anyone else. I'm just too much of a rebel. And I just like, come on, seriously, why are you doing it that way? I've always been able to, I don't agree with thinking outside the boxes, because there are no boxes. And the moment we think about thinking outside of the boxes, we've already put ourselves in a box. So if there are no boxes, we can just be free in our thinking, right? And when people say the sky is the limit, I'm like, the sky's not the limit. Did you not know there are galaxies and wormholes and black holes down there? Just grab that Hessian helter-skelter mat and go on a journey and enjoy it. So I've never, and I've always been one of those people that volunteer for things or say, oh, that'll be a really great idea. And then I've built things, gone, oh, and now I've got to deliver that. Okay. But I've always had a lot of energy, and it's paid me really well. Like I said, I've traveled the world. I say 5 languages, 3 of them fluently, and 4 half startery, kind of. But I've always loved books. I've always got my head in a book. It's Jenny. Always got my head in a book. I'm always learning. I'm a proper geek. I'm doing a PhD in international law and social justice, so I can serve my clients and humanity on an even greater level. So yeah, I'm a geek and I love it. So they bullied me for being a geek, and I just made something beautiful out of it.
That is really nice, and I like that don't put yourself in a box or look out of the box, because then you're putting yourself in a box. So just be free. Now, you live quite a spiritual lifestyle, don't you? What does spirituality mean to you?
Well, I did live my life as a Muslim for a bit. My grandparents believed in God. My parents, I still have no idea what they believe in, because that was something we did not talk about. And I've studied theology. I've studied all the religions. But for me, it's about connecting with nature, connecting with your inner self. I've walked away from religion, but I haven't walked away from my faith in the universe and this higher creator, this energy. So a friend of mine, Jenna Rodriguez from Brave Masters, she calls it GUS, God, Universe, Spirit, which I really quite like. But for me, it's about connecting with source, connecting with the source inside of yourself, listening to your intuition, and just being still. I mean, like you say, I travel the world, I sail around the world. It's a bit difficult at the moment sailing around the world because of the restrictions and what have you. But when I get to my next location, I've traveled up through Latin America in the last year. I've done Chile, Argentina, and I'm now in Brazil. Hello, Christelle. And so for me, it's just being with the ocean. They don't call me Miss Mermaid for nothing. I have always been called a mermaid. I'm always in the water, on the water, by the water. I hold my breath for a stupid amount of time. I frighten people because I'm always under. She's gone. Is she still there? I'm frightening quite a few people. But it's just about being with yourself and being at peace and knowing that whatever you dream, whatever you believe, it's going to come true. The universe will give you what you want. You've just got to go shopping with her. And just tell the universe what you want and you'll get it. If you think you're going to have bad stuff, that's what you're going to get. If you believe that everything is there for you to receive in abundance, that's what you're going to get, right?
I agree with you totally, especially about trusting the universe, connectedness, and ask, believe, receive. And it does take a lot of self-work, and you really do have to work on those belief systems. But I think it's just a great world that we live in. I know it's been really testing times this year, but I have just focused even more on myself, on my beliefs, on being a good person, really working with self improvement, self development, and I have had a fantastic year. I know people are struggling out there and it's really hard times, but it's really important to focus on the positives every day, because there are always things that we can be grateful of. Now, you're quite an
Absolutely.
activist, aren't you, Dawn? You like to do all these kind of things, what you power behind. So tell us a little bit about that.
I'd say I was a little bit of an activist, yes. Just a tiny one. Not really. If you're going to do something, do it properly. And so for me, like we just said, like we experience bullying at school. I don't like bullies. Bullies are horrible people, but they're not. They're just, the bullying is a manifestation or an output of what they've been through or what they're going through. Okay. And one of the things I love about Islam is that it says that, if you can think of 7 reasons why someone is doing something, think of another 7. And if you can think of another 7, think of another 7, and it's always about the forgiveness. It's all about the understanding. It's all about passing on the love and what have you. And so for me, it's like, okay, so if we all know that we're all really great people, and everybody, people have said to me as I've traveled the world, oh, aren't you scared? I'm like, no, because people are genuinely beautiful people. They genuinely want to help. Hi, Vishnu. And the thing for me is like, I really want to show people that what's possible. I grew up, like I said, in a farming village, 200 people. I've kind of got, I want to go do this, but I want to call people forward. And I want to say, no, you don't bully people. Don't. And I hate social injustice. I hate racism. I hate any kind of hatred, which is a bit of a, I can't say I hate because that's a really negative energy, but I want people to be happy and I want people to live their life, right? And if I can help them learn how to be the best version of themselves, if I can help them learn more about the world and just get rid of a lot of these cultural barriers and the cultural ignorance, then I would love to, and this is what I do. I write books that change the world. I speak on things that help break down barriers. Even like in my first book, Friday Bridge, I had people telling me, I've learned so much about Arabs and Muslims. And then when I wrote Wallahi, my second book, they were like, oh my God, we had no idea that Egypt was like that, because it was all about the Egyptian uprising. But because I'm not afraid of people and I'm not afraid of the government either. And I know for some people that's like, what? But the thing is, they try and control you because they're afraid of us. They're afraid of people getting together. So, yeah, I'm an activist. The other great thing about being an activist is that when you own the thing that really when you own your inner activist, your business becomes so innovative. So the people that are struggling at the moment in business, I would really, really tell them, like, what is that one thing that you are so passionate about changing in the world? Harness that activism around that subject and make that the bread and butter, that foundation of your business, because that's your passion, right? That's where like you can make a real difference in the world. And when you build your business onto that passion and onto that activism, it doesn't matter what happens outside of you. When you focus on that, everything else just disappears and there are no barriers and everything is possible. And you start innovating in a whole new way and abundance just comes. Like the people that have struggled in business are the ones that fail to innovate because they haven't owned their inner activist. And it doesn't mean chaining yourself to a tree or running someone over or destroying property. It's that active passion that's deep inside of you, like that juicy stuff. So yeah,
coming back to your bullying point, hurt
went off on one
people.
there, didn't I?
Hurt people, that comes to mind. And I just love your outlook on life, Dawn, and your views and your kindness. You really do come from the heart as well. So tell us a little bit about your business now. We've heard about the challenges and a little bit about your past. Tell us about what you do now.
Well, I work with dreams, I guess. I work with leaders, CEOs, and entrepreneurs to help them elevate their business and expand their brand. I know that sounds a bit cliche and a bit catchphrasy, but the thing is like we can all write a book. There are lots of books out there at the moment. So I'm a writer, like an author. I'm a ghostwriter. I write for the fabulous House of Preeminence, and there's this really great news channel called MSP News Global that I've got a column in. You should really check it out, folks. So, and I do like guest articles as well. But what I do is I go, what is it you're passionate about? Okay, let's use that. Let's write a book that takes your business to the next level, that positions you as an authority in that field, because you are an authority on your life. You're an authority on your passion. And I give people a mirror and I show them lots of ideas and I help them dig deep and go, well, what is it you really want to do? Let's write a book about that. So you become a voice for your passion, a voice for a cause, or you can use your position in business or in leadership or community, whatever it is you're a leader in, and let's take it global. So I work a lot with national leaders or people that have got this really strong passion about exposing something, so that we can then write a book, build a business around that. So whether that's public speaking, whether that's masterclasses, whether that's workshops or a coaching business, whatever it is. And it really is about building additional product spectrums, so that they can then take themselves from this level to the next level, to the next level. I'm not for everybody, Mark. I am really kind, but I'm also very tough. And I don't do excuses. If you really want something, you're going to make it happen. You are going to go shopping with the universe. You are going to face your own rhetoric. I'll choose that word. And you will speak up on what it is that's really important. Because if you don't speak up on these issues that are important to you and make it part of your business, then that thing that you're not part of, that thing you're not giving a voice to, is going to keep happening. You've been given a voice for a reason, and it's about time people started believing in their own voices. It's about time people started using their own voices, because there are people out there that don't have a voice. And those of us who do have a voice, we have a responsibility to use it. Hi, Joshua.
Well, you're certainly doing that.
Help people to own their voice.
And tell us a little bit about the process, because you've said you help people write their books. Do they write the books? Do you write the books for them? What is that process?
Okay, so a couple of things. It depends on the individual. Because I like to do couture coaching, as I call it, rather than like a one size fits all. And so, for example, there's a young lady that I'm working with at the moment called Lani Mulvey. She's a women's strength advocate, and her book, she's got 8 women together to write a chapter. So these people, they've written their own chapter. And then what I do is they submit their chapter to me. I then look at it and see if it needs some Adorny magic. If it does, then I give it some Adorny magic, and then they approve it, and then we go to publishing. So I take them from like their initial idea. What is it you're passionate about? What is it you want to talk about? Where is it you want to position your business? And then I draw that story out of them. And a lot of the time they write it. And then we go through, and I take them through the publishing process, and we publish it on every single platform. Then there are women like Annie Gibbons, fabulous woman from Australia. She's at the head of like corporate Australia. She's incredible, the work that she does. She and I worked together, and I wrote her biography called Becoming Annie, the Biography of a Curious Woman. So there are women like Annie who wanted an autobiography. And I was like, no, you're not. You're not having an autobiography. You're too special. You need a biography writing about you. So I wrote the book about her, and we're using that to position and for to use as a lead magnet, you could say, or to position her magic transformation program so that people are attracted to that, but also to position her on a higher level as a keynote speaker. So there are lots of different ways. We've got books coming out, and it's also like, let's get doctors together, that are going into moving away from big pharma and into alternative medicines. There's a lady that I'm working with on that kind of book. So it really does depend on the individual, what writing experience they've got, what business experience they've got. But because I work with people at all different levels of business to take them to the next level, there's no point just dealing with the next level. That's already done. You're already making choices now, which will get you to the next level. I work on 3, 4, 5 levels ahead of where people are at, because I don't think small. I can't think small. That's frustrating.
The collaborations, I love those. I'm involved in a couple of those that are just being published over the next few months. What I like about those, Dawn, you get such great benefits from collaborating with others, but it's a really easy process just to submit a chapter, and they really do well, these collaboration books, because it opens you up to such a big network of everyone collaborating together. So I'm a big fan of these collaboration books, and there are millions and millions of books on Amazon. You have to make your work stand out, and your books are incredible, Dawn, the graphics, etc., etc. But there are so many books on Amazon. It really is important to really stand out, isn't it?
It is, and this is the thing. There are lots of mediocre books out there, and one of the things that really does my head in is there's a lot of business gurus out there that say, oh, write a book, but they're not writing a book. They're writing what I call a pamphlet. It's a 5,000 word essay, which they then put out as a book. They then run a 24-hour Amazon 99-cent special, get all their friends and family to buy it, find a really obscure, and they're just littering bookshelves around the world, and they're only using Amazon. That's not doing your clients any benefit. It's not giving any benefit to humanity. It's not benefiting the business owners or these new leaders that are coming through at all. And it's just pointless in a lot of ways. And it's like, one of the reasons why people are not reading books at the moment is because there's so much mediocrity out there. And I read a lot. I love reading. I was talking to a really special friend last night, and it's just, we both love books. We're both proper geeks, and it's just, books and knowledge is really, really sexy for me, right? That's just, I'm going to say that out loud right here, right now. And if you are doing, and the other good thing is, if you're just writing a really mediocre book, what does that say about you and your business? Are you just going to keep creating mediocre results? Are you just going to do the quick fix? Or are you just going to do it just for the label or just for the title, rather than doing it for a deeper reason, for a sole purpose reason? I could print a book about my dog's paw prints and get it to being an international bestseller, and it's not going to add any value. If your book is not adding value, stop writing it right now and then hire me. But yeah, you've got to get the positioning right, and you've got to do, I get really quite cross with some of these really high level coaches out there that are charging people tens and tens of thousands to make them look successful, but they're not. And if your book is not making you money every single month, and it's not paying for itself and giving you a return on investment, then what's the point of doing it in the first place?
That is a great point. And I think we can come back after the commercial breakdown, and I want some tips and guidance out there for people who are interested in writing books or taking that first step to get started. We are chatting with Dawn Bates, author, strategist, business coach. She has shared a personal journey of obstacles that she has overcome. She shared her business of how she helps authors to get really great books out into the marketplace. Join us after the commercial break. Welcome back to Brilliance Business, and happy Valentine's Day, everyone out there. Hope all your dreams are coming true today. I haven't had any flowers, but never mind, I'm here with the amazing Dawn Bates, and we are streaming live on mspnewsglobal.com. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, LinkedIn, YouTube, post-production, Instagram, and we're also streaming live on the E360 TV network on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, and many, many more. Just before the commercial break, we was chatting to Dawn Bates all about her obstacles that she has faced, to what has got her to where she is today. We have learnt more about how she helps authors to get great books out into the marketplace. Dawn, so tell us, what can people do who would like to move forward if they've never wrote a book before and they would like to take that first step? Just some tips and guidance for people, or maybe someone who has got a book but they haven't got the results that they wanted from that book.
Well, the first thing for me to share would be find out why you want to write the book. Why is it you want to write the book? Who is it for? I mean, people say, it's decide on your avatar. And yeah, that's important. But the thing is, it's like, why do you want to write it? Is it because you want a title? Is it because you want to make a difference? That is the first thing. Tap into that, because when you tap into the purpose of something and you tap into that passion, don't do something because everybody else is doing it, and don't do something because you think it's going to look good. Do it because you are meant to do it. And if you are struggling to write a book, it's because you don't know what your purpose is. You don't know why you're writing it. So that would be the first thing. So tap into that. And then just start writing. Just start writing. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've written books. I mean, when I wrote Layla, which is the second book in the Sacral Series, I'd written nearly like 50,000 words. I went, delete. And started again. And like, they're like, you just deleted like nearly 50,000 words. I was like, yeah. You know, there were bits out of it that I took out of it. And I was like, yeah, that bit's good, that bit. But it wasn't the right book. It wasn't the right thing. Don't be attached to something. Be committed to the outcome, but not attached to how you get there. Okay? So don't be afraid of deleting stuff. I mean, you can keep it, you know, you can copy paste. But also don't listen to people who haven't written a book. Like we all say, you know, don't listen. Like there are people that will tell you that it's hard. There will be people that tell you, you know, that what's the point? And people go into their head is, oh, who's going to read it anyway? You know, oh, you know, what's the point? If you're going into it like that, then it's not going to work. I mean, I've got an authority coaching group, you know, and I have got like the Dawn Bates top author top tips. I've got that document, and I've researched from 10,000 leading authors around the world. But the thing is, it's like you've got to really understand why you're doing something, whether it's writing a book or starting a business or going off around the world or, you know, going to make this cake. God, what I wouldn't do for a Victoria sponge cake right now. But anyway, so you've really got to understand who is going to benefit from your book. So, for example, I know that with the Sacral Series, I'm here to change the game. I'm here to look at that. I have the conversations no one really wants to have, Mark. You know, I write about the stuff people really want to know about and people really need to hear. But a lot of people are afraid to go there. I'm not. I will go there and I will go deep. Okay. And that's the thing, because I know these conversations need having, and I'm prepared to do that. But if you're not prepared to have that conversation and write it, and you're not prepared to address a situation, you've got to be really committed. There's a line, what's coming up is there's a line in that Eat, Pray, Love, and where there's that lady who's Liz's publisher. She goes, having a baby is like getting a tattoo on your face. You've got to really be committed to doing it, you know. And if you are not committed to going all out with your book and getting don't, like, book covers, some of them are so bad, so bad. They're really bad. Stop it. Hire somebody who knows what they're doing. You know, and don't just go to Amazon and upload it to Amazon and then expect if you're not prepared to write a book and build a business around it, then why are you even doing it? Because when you write a book, you are creating a business product. And what is the point of developing a product in any business if you are not prepared to market it and you're not prepared to sell it? It's just pointless. And yes, if you want to go down the traditional route of publishing, you might get loads of rejections, etc., you know, and there are people that I know that have written books that years later, they're still waiting for a publisher. And it's like, I'm a publisher. I'll publish a book for you. But if you're not prepared to invest in yourself and you're not prepared to invest in your book, don't expect anybody else to.
So 50,000 words, deleting them, and you say don't be attached. That just reminds me of a saying that I say a lot, and that's there's more than one path to your end destination. People get very set in one direction, and that's the only way that they're going. And it's really important to know there's more than one path to your end destination. Who would be your ideal client? Who do you feel having a book and moving forward with going through the process would most benefit?
So there are a couple of types of people that I work with. People that are interested in social change, that are willing to use their life and their voice to create global social change. So that, like I said, either giving their voice to a cause that's already there, so that cause has got an even louder voice, or putting a spotlight on a cause that we really all need to know about. And these are the people, again, people have to be willing to invest. You know, they've got to do the work. If you're not willing to invest, I'm not the person you want to be speaking to.
Time and money.
Time, money, energy, effort, thought, everything. It's either got to be a hell yes, I'm all in, or I'm not the person. Because I am a hell yes kind of person. The other people, so for example, I like the dreamers, but the dreamers who are committed to that dream. So whether they are just starting out in business, again, like Lani, she's just starting out, but her mission is so beautiful. Like, oh my God, it was a hell yes from me. You know, she has got one of the biggest hearts, and she wants to transform the way in which we see the female body and the male body, and like the strength, the connection between mind and body strength, and how we apply that to business. Okay. And how we apply that to other areas of our life. So it's these people that are willing to say, you know what, I matter. This subject matters. But again, it's the people that are willing to invest in making a difference in the world.
I agree. I think when people invest money and they invest time and you jump in feet first, you're an action taker and you're really serious, you know that they're going to get results because they're all in. And I always get alarm bells when people don't want to invest money into projects. To me, free isn't best with any opportunity. I always say, do you really want to work in opportunities that are free? Because they're not always the best done. So I am with you on that 100%. Now, my next question is all about your super successful Sacral Series book. Tell us all about this. It's not just one book, is it?
No, it's not. It's 9. So, okay. My big goal is to get the Nobel Prize for Literature. That's always been my goal. Like, again, if like the international bestseller status that I have, that's just a non-trademark. That's just, that's just to get started. But and I am still making money from that book every single month, so that's all right. But the Sacral Series is, over the last 22 years, I've been working a lot in cultural diversity and community cohesion and looking at different political situations. I am very political, and like I said, I hate injustice and I hate corruption and I hate bullies. It's fun. They're the only things I do hate, though, apart from guava. Yeah, I've had so much fun. Alice and I have been having so much tea with the caterpillar and the white rabbit. It's been amazing. But the thing is, it's like, over the years, with a lot of the work that I've done in cultural diversity and community cohesion and the travels that I've had around the world, I've met these incredible people with these heart-wrenching stories. And I'm like, why have I been gifted that story? What am I to do with that? And then I went through something really traumatic a few years ago, and I had to do a lot of healing on myself. And then one day I've gone to the beach with my crystals and I've done a meditation, obviously by the water, like where else would I be? And I sat bolt upright and I went, okay, this is the book. And with each of the books in the Sacral Series, what I'm doing is I've taken the story that people have gifted me, and I've got their permission. Obviously, I wouldn't be writing it if I didn't. And then I've gone, okay, well, I can't give out their identity. So I've then gone, okay, where does this happen in the world? And what social issue can I address with this story? So I've given the person a different ethnicity. And so I've created this. So the stories are all true. But because I've given them a different ethnicity to highlight different issues around the world, I've had to market them as fiction. And with each book, there is a podcast, which I'm working with a guy called, amazing guy, Adam Walton from the Mental Mastery Alliance. So he's co-hosting the podcast with me. And so each book, like the first 3 in the series, are talking about abuse within the personal. So like within a relationship, so narcissism, it's talking about sexual abuse within families, within relationships. And then you've got the next 3, which are looking at community. So community abuses. So whether that's in faith, whether that is in like the social care system. And then the final 3 will be looking at the abuse and the corruption within the legal system. My PhD in international law and social justice is looking at each of these different areas so that the books attached are the coursework and my evidence, and additional supplementary information from my theses, so that we can actually have these really powerful conversations, and so that we can look at how we're going to change policy and how these issues are addressed. So, for example, there's a wonderful lady called Fritzi Horseman who's created a movement called Step Inside the Circle. We're working together on guard. And it's looking at the prison system and the people that are within the prison system and the abuses that have led them there and what's actually going on. So again, my books have a very social aspect. The Sacral Series is all about healing on a very high level, but a very personal level, and a community and a global level. So again, they're the kind of books that I write, and they're the kind of books that I like to work with people on. So that's the Sacral Series in a nutshell.
Yes.
And there'll be a stage show. I'm writing a stage show to go with it as well.
I'll be an extra. That is just an example. You're walking the walk and you're talking the talk. That is how you have an idea and bring something into reality that will just literally change the world. It will really make an impact. It can really help and support people, change lives, change policies. That is just great work, Dawn, because there are people struggling out there. We have had one of the worst years in politics, in the pandemic, etc., but I do believe there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there's always hope.
The light's inside us, Mark. The light is inside us, and when we own that light and we share that light, then other people can see it within themselves. Sorry to correct you on that, but not sorry at all.
How long has the process been, Dawn? Because if there's 9 in the series, where are you at now? And how long did that process take?
Well, I write a book in 5 or 6 days, Mark. I wrote Wallahi in 7 days. 7 days later, it was an international bestseller on, 3 continents. My first book, Friday Bridge, took me a year. Crossing the Line took 3 years because I was fighting that illegal court case with Scotland police. Moana took me 6 days to write, on and off. Annie's book, so again, like the Sacral Series, there's a new book coming out every 3 months. And the podcast, so like they're pre-ordered, they get the pre-order launch is the 11th of the month of the launch. The 22nd of that month is when it goes on official full launch, and then on the 28th, Adam and I record the podcast, which then gets released at the beginning of the next one. So each of those books come out every 3 months. So again, we're tapping into Miss Jenny P's Trinity number of number 3, because we all know Jenny likes number 3. So every 3 months, so we're on book 3, and that will be out next month. What month are we in? We're in February, aren't we? Yeah. So Pandora comes out in March, and then Alpha will come out in June. And so every 3 months, so I will wrap up the whole Sacral Series in 3 years. And then the stage show that I'm writing as I'm going, that will be out afterwards.
You are really making moves in this world, Dawn. Super busy, super productive, getting great results, living the laptop lifestyle out on the sea. Where in the world are you at the moment? You're always somewhere different, Dawn.
Yeah, and in 3 days' time, I'm going to be in a different location. So I'm actually in Brazil at the moment. I'm overlooking the ocean, a load of little islands that are absolutely stunning, like the mountains here. I've just been in the Atlantic rainforest, a bit further down the coast. But I never tell people exactly where I am, because I like just to be. Mystery. There are very, very few people who know exactly where I am. Yeah. But again, it's like even though Pandora will be out in March, my first book in the Mermaid's Guide series, which is a series of 6 books that I'm writing in correlation with the Sacral Series, the Mermaid's Guide to Digital Nomadism will be out in April. So
Amazing. Now,
Just because, I can write another book.
You have something wonderful, the Authority Mastermind. Tell us all about it, Dawn.
Oh, I'm loving this, right? Because again, it's like there are lots of people out there who, like I said, have got this amazing voice and they've got this passion. So the Authority Mastermind collection is about getting people to harness the authority of who they are. And so we're going to look at leadership models, like, the man-made ones, but leadership models within nature. We're going to look at cultural diversity. We're going to go really deep into the spiritual aspect of it all. We're looking at brand expansion. We're looking at leveraging your business. We're looking at so many different things in there. And it's a group of 11 experts that are coming together from different areas so that we can all work together and take the content that I'm writing, and then we'll explore all of that together. And then at the end of the 7 months, because I've got the Authority Mastermind Taster Day, then I've got the weekend, and then I've got 7 days. And anyone who does those will then chooses to join me for the 7 months, the big mama. We are going to go really deep into all of that, and then we're going to look at how we're going to market that. And then we're all going to write a chapter in the Authority Mastermind book. And then we're going to launch that at the end of it. So that book will then come out in January, February next year. But it is really about people harnessing who they are. Now, this is for people who are really serious about taking what they know and, again, taking it to the 4th and 5th level upwards. And this is about genuine authority and leadership. None of the rhetoric. We're not going to be, because, like I said, I'm a geek. I'm doing a PhD. So this is like a really deep dive. This is not the shallow stuff. If you want shallow, go elsewhere. I'm ocean deep. We've got a 4-week platform in the mastermind, like the 7-month one, where the first one will be about all the pre-work. And then the second, so they get a workbook for that. The second week, they'll be looking at, we've got like a full day of masterminding. Then the third week will be full, like the Q&A sessions, diving deep into whatever that's come up. And there's all individuals in the group will actually be leading part of the mastermind. So developing their leadership, toning their skills. And then in week 4 of the month, then we'll be absolutely implementing everything and then repeating that for 7 months. So it's such a juicy course. I'm so excited. But like I said, there are only 11 places on the big mastermind for the 7 months, because I want to work with 11 sacred people and create this really special container. And we're gonna what we're gonna create together is going to be amazing. I just know it's going to change the world. Again, I'm not interested in people that are just chatting about stuff. I want people who are ready to go deep, really deep.
Takers. Dawn, I have thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you today. You have a fascinating story. You're really getting involved in things that matter. You're about service, helping others. You've shared your personal journey of obstacles that you've overcome. You've shared more about your business. You've shared tips, guidance for budding entrepreneurs and authors, or people who have a book but they want to do it better next time. You have shared real personal parts of your life, and you've shared all about the Sacral Series, which sounds absolutely incredible. I tell everyone out there to go and check out the Sacral Series. Go to dawnbates.com. Dawn, I have really enjoyed having you on the Brilliance Business Show. Thank you for being my guest today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being my Valentine's Day, Mark.
Thank you for being my Valentine's as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for watching The Brilliance.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.